All right.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to our live IELTS class. We are broadcasting to you live from beautiful Budapest. And we're just testing the system here. This is our first live broadcast from Europe. So hi Hadil, hi Govinder, Jamshid, nice to see you guys. Right now we're just testing the system for the first 2 minutes. I'm doing fine, thank you. Is there strong echo? It's a smaller room. So everything is kind of a test today, so we're doing a simple lesson today. Please be patient. Is the video okay? Can everybody see me okay? Video is good, but there's a lot of reverb in the sound. Okay, let me try to adjust the sound, see if I can do something about that.
So just give me a moment. Okay, how about the sound now? Is it better? Can everybody hear me a little bit better right now? Is the sound quality okay? I'm trying to improve the sound so you can hear me okay now. No, it's still not good. Racha says yes, it is better. No, yes, it's okay. All right, so sound, looks like some of you are experiencing better sound and some of you are not. Bear with me today.
I will try to work on the sound for you, but it might take a little bit more time. So please be patient, and then we'll work on it for next class. So right now, let's just keep going. Again, I promise I will try to get you some better audio quality for next class. The microphone is working on my end. It might be the type of connection that we're using because we're using a USB splitter for the receiver. So just be patient. Okay, guys, so sorry about the echo. Just bear with me today. Again, I'll work on the sound for tomorrow's class, okay? So anyway, the class today, again, bear with me for the echo. I will try to fix that for you for next class. I'll see what I can do about that echoing sound. Okay, so today we're just going to do a simple IELTS writing task 2. The lesson is coming from aehelp.com, and you can, of course, use the code LIVE20 for a 20% discount. You guys are still having a lot of trouble with the sound. Okay, you know what? Give me 2 more minutes. I'll try to do something more about the sound, but if it's not going to work, then you'll just have to wait until tomorrow for better sound quality. So just a second. Okay, let me see if, how about now? Let me see if I can add a filter. Okay, how about the sound now? Is it better? Okay. Again, how about now? Is the sound getting a little bit better? What do you think? I'm trying to use a filter on it for you now.
Okay, let me see if I can add a different kind of filter. Okay, how about now? Is the sound better now?
Can everybody hear me okay now? Is it better now? Better, but still not okay. All right, guys. I'm doing my best here, so I'll have to run some more tests later on this evening when all of you are sleeping, and then I'll test it out more for tomorrow to see if I can get you some better sound. For now, I'm just going to do the lesson today, but anyway. Is the video better now? How about the video? Is the video okay? Okay, guys, so like I say, I'll work on the sound issue for tomorrow. Don't worry about it for today. Just try to bear with me, focus in. So today we'll cover IELTS Writing Task 2. These materials are coming from aehelp.com. That's our website. Our website looks like this. Here at the top, you can log on to our website. That's where you can get all of our materials. So when you log in, you have a My Student account, and then your My Student account has all kinds of goodies for you. It has a full IELTS course with strategies for the listening, reading, writing, speaking sections. And then you have some practice exams. You have 6 full practice exams. You have all the audio there as well. Here are all of the audio CDs. And then you have 40 high-quality video lessons here where you can watch me in high definition with excellent sound. Again, I will work on the sound for tomorrow, guys, so just bear with me for today's lesson, and I'll figure out what I can do to improve the sound quality for tomorrow. All right, so today we are looking at a sample IELTS task 2 question, okay? And here's the question. You can also find it in the stream description. So the question is, you should spend no more than 40 minutes on this task. That's usual for task 2, and write about the following topic. Some people believe that carrying cash should not be necessary and all payments ought to be digital. Others argue that having paper money still has benefits. What do you believe and why? Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience. So, this question is asking you about what you believe and why. So in this case, you have to choose one side. Thank you, Mohammed, for asking about my leg. It's about 85% right now, so it's healed a lot. I'm standing on it. I can move a lot around. The bone has fused. Mohammed is asking about my leg because I had a broken leg at the end of January, so that's why we didn't have classes for some time. But now my leg is feeling better. I'm in Europe right now, so I will be broadcasting classes at a much better time for you. We're not just going to be working on writing, Arjun. Today we're focusing on task 2, but we do have lessons for reading, listening, and speaking as well. So, Nisha, again, sorry about the echo. Just bear with me for today. I promise that for tomorrow I'll try to figure out how to fix the echo situation. Let me see if I can, if I open some doors and things, that might help a little bit with the echo. Let the sound escape some. So let's see if this will help the echo. All right, so hopefully this will help the echoing a little bit. There we go. Hopefully this reduces the echo. Is that a little bit better? All right. I'm trying my best. Echoes can be quite tricky to reduce because they can depend on a lot of different variables, guys. Echoes can depend on the connections, they can depend on the room, and so on. Satyam, excellent. I'm really happy you got a band 7. Let me see if I can open this up a little bit more and let out even more of the sound. All right. Let me just, okay. I'm going to try to allow for as much of the sound to escape as possible. How's that, guys? Is that better at all for the sound? I'm trying to see if I can reduce the echo with the room. Yes, no, maybe? All right. Okay, so again, we're focusing on this question now. The first thing I'd like to ask you is, what do we do when we get to the task 2 question? So what should be your first step? Okay, what should be the first step when you get to your IELTS task 2 question? So again, I can see everyone and hear everyone. Well, not see you, but I can read what you're saying. Before the introduction, so before you write an introduction, Janet, what do you have to do? What's step number 1? Yeah, Mohammed's absolutely right. You have to read the question and understand it. One of the most common mistakes, guys, for IELTS Task 2, and by the way, it's also one of the most common mistakes for speaking Task 2 with the cue card question, is students actually answer the wrong question. So if you answer the wrong question, then your marks will go down a lot, even if you are using good English, because the IELTS examiners don't know if you're just memorizing some kind of text and using that, trying to match it up. So you have to answer the exact question. That's very, very important for task 2 writing and for the cue card and speaking. So pay close attention to the question. Again, one of the most common mistakes for bad marks is students answer the wrong question. Okay? When we look at this question, some people believe that carrying cash should not be necessary and payments ought to be digital. Others argue that having paper money still has benefits. What can we do to understand this question? What is the first step in understanding a question clearly? Yeah, paraphrasing the question is definitely a good first step, Mohammed. That's right. So can someone paraphrase this question for me? Yeah, paraphrasing the question is an excellent first step. Can somebody paraphrase this specific question? Again, remember, there are different ways to paraphrase. You can use antonyms with negatives. You can use synonyms. You can use descriptive language. You can use grammar to paraphrase. You can use expressions to paraphrase. So paraphrase the question. It will also give you good vocabulary to use in your essay. That's very important. So having good vocabulary for your essay is important, and paraphrasing is a good way to find that vocabulary. So can someone paraphrase, some people believe that carrying cash should not be necessary at all, and payments ought to be digital. Others argue that having paper money still has benefits. So some people, certain individuals, think that, yeah, absolutely, Ashraf. Having cash is okay. Utsav. Where do we put cash, guys? Think about where we keep cash. That keeping What's another way to say cash or paper money, guys? Carrying hard currency is a good one, Mohammed. I like it. Hard currency is a good way to paraphrase cash or paper money. There's another very common way to say it. It starts with a B. Yeah, and Mohammed, your paraphrase is quite good. So several individuals think that carrying hard currency is not required, whereas others believe electronic means for payment will be more useful. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Banknotes is okay, guys, or bills. I'm surprised nobody came up with the word bills. Yeah, there it is. It's bills. So certain individuals think that keeping bills in one's wallet is not one's because we need to show possession. One's wallet is not needed, and all transactions should be done electronically. Okay, good. So, yeah, very good. Nice. Now you guys are thinking. That's great. Again, paraphrasing is one of the best ways to build your vocabulary. So when you're practicing for the IELTS, paraphrasing is key. That's the trick to getting high scores in all sections of the IELTS. Makdonka Vukovic says there's a debate of how we should do payments in terms of what is more convenient, money or credit card. Some people believe that using cash is more beneficial. That's a really nice way to do it as well. You've used grammar in your paraphrasing, you've used synonyms in your paraphrasing, so you've used definitions in your paraphrasing, so that's an excellent paraphrase also. I'll finish my version here. So notice, guys, that there's a lot of ways to paraphrase. Sometimes students say, oh, it's impossible to paraphrase that. That's pretty much never true. There's always more than one way to express an idea. In many cases, there are dozens of ways to express ideas. So certain individuals think that keeping bills in one's wallet is not needed at all and transactions should be done electronically. Nevertheless, some still think that hard currency has its advantages. Of course, if you can't paraphrase the question, then it's a good sign that you probably don't understand it clearly. Okay, if you're having trouble paraphrasing a question, it's going to be very difficult to get a score over 7, and there's a good chance that you're not actually understanding the question at all. Okay, so we've paraphrased it. Now, once you've paraphrased it, then what is the next step? What do you want to do after? So you've paraphrased the question. Bitcoin, Gagan, is definitely an electronic type of currency, but it's not exactly what we're talking about here. What's the next step? After we paraphrase the question, what do we want to do next? You see, Ramesh, not quite yet. Still not the introduction. Definitely not the body, because the paraphrasing is just to give us an idea of understanding the question. You need to do something before you start writing the first paragraph and the hook and everything. Analyzing is good. Before you analyze, what do you need to do? What do you need to do, guys? You need to apply critical thinking, definitely. Some of you who have seen my lessons before should know this. And it's very important to do this for your IELTS speaking part 2, the cue card. You want to do this as well. Okay? There we go, Mohammed. Yeah. you need to identify the topic and the controlling idea. Also, Barbara has a good point too, that you want to determine the nature of the essay. The type of essay for task 2 is always persuasive and almost always first-person voice. Mohammed, you're right. You need to identify the topic and you need to identify the controlling idea. So here we go, guys. What is the topic here? What is the topic? In this case, what should be the topic? Let me make the text a bit bigger for everyone so you can see it more clearly. So what should be the topic in this case, or what is the topic? Yeah, Mohammed's got the right answer. Okay, it's payment. So mode of payment is the topic. Yeah. So once we have the topic, then we go to the controlling idea. So the topic here is making payments or transactions. That's right. That's why it's so important to have some different synonyms for that, right? Okay, so now that we have the topic, which is payment or transactions, we need to figure out the controlling idea. So controlling idea is physical money, like bills and coins, or digital currency like credit and debit cards. Sure. Okay, so that is the controlling idea. Cash or electronic cards, good. What's the next step? So now we have our topic. We have our controlling idea. And again, everybody that's joining us right now, you can read the task 2 question in the stream description so you can catch up with us. Again, this material is coming from aehelp.com. So if you guys are enjoying these lessons, and of course for better sound, join us there. You can see a lot of videos there, get our 6 practice exams. And of course, guys, you can use Super Chat too if you have something important to say and you want me to see your question clearly. So Super Chat is beside your emoji. Okay, yeah, you want to think critically. What, why, how? So what, why, how, and that helps you to decide which side to argue and which side to talk about. Now, for everyone, I do realize that we're taking a lot of time to do this, but when you practice this at home with a few different essays, in the real IELTS exam, in the official IELTS exam, this is happening for you very quickly. This is happening for you within the first 3-4 minutes of seeing the question, okay? So once you've identified the topic, once you've identified the controlling idea, think about it as what, why, how. That will also help you decide which side of the argument is easier. Okay, so again, the question is in the stream description for those of you joining so you can catch up. Okay, so if we ask what, why, how, about paper money. So what is paper money? What is paper money, guys? And girls? What is it? Hi, nice to see you join back in the class. It's printed currency that you physically carry with you, yeah. Okay, why do we have it? Why do we have this paper money? So again, in the real IELTS exam, of course, you're not writing down the what, why, how, but at home when you're practicing, you should write these down. It will help you. In the official exam, you probably won't have enough time to write down all the what, why, how questions and answers. You're just thinking about them in your mind. No, Andrea, I know that there's a bit of a sound echo, and I'm going to fix that for tomorrow, but right now just bear with me as much as you can, and I'll try to figure it out for tomorrow how I can fix that for you, okay? Okay, to buy some stuff, Barbara, but never use the word stuff or things. Always try to use a better noun than stuff or things, okay? So Nishan says to buy goods, or what's the other one? With money, we either buy goods or what? Or services, that's right, Nisha. So used to exchange for goods and services, and to create a commonly agreed on value, right? So we use paper money just the same as electronic money to exchange it for goods and services, and to give a commonly agreed on value to those goods and services. Okay? So how does it work? How does paper money work? Can somebody tell me how paper money works? How does paper money work? It's an important question for this essay. We physically give it to the person who we're purchasing the goods or services from, and then if we don't have the exact amount, then we get change back, right? Yeah, so there's a physical exchange from one hand to another. There is physical exchange from one hand to another. That's right. Okay, and then of course, we ask the same questions for electronic payment. So here we have similar types of answers with some differences. So we don't need to write down the same answers. We just need to think about how electronic payment is different. So what is electronic payment? And here, think about how it's different than paper payment. So what is electronic payment? It's maybe an ATM card, but not always. Sometimes these days you have electronic payment even through your phone. I don't know if all of you have this technology in your country, but in a lot of Western countries you can actually have it through your phone. You don't even need a card anymore. So you don't even need a plastic card anymore. Mohammed says, transfer a fund electronically through a point of sale. Yeah, so it's non-physical money, right? It's digital currency. So it only exists in a virtual world. There is no actual physical existence of digital currency, right? So when you have money on a card in your bank account as zeros and ones, there isn't actually a physical representation for it, right? So how does it work, or why do we have it? We have it so we can exchange goods and services, but here, think about why do we have it, which is different from paper money. So what is the point of creating digital money? It's safer. Okay, that's definitely one answer. Why is it safer? Easier to store. Yep, that's definitely a good answer. So it's easier to store, it's safer. Why is it safer? Can be stolen or difficult to lose it, right? Now, some of us might argue with that. It can't be stolen. There is a lot of cyber theft of digital money these days, but let's just assume that it can't be stolen. In fact, if we really think critically, then we realize that it can't be stolen is actually not a correct answer, but it's easier to trace and easier to replace. And it's easier to store. Okay. Hassle-free movement. Yeah, it's easier to pass from one person to another, so it's faster. So how does it work? How does digital money work? Anybody? How does digital money work? Yeah, it's stored in banks, encrypted, right? So it can be used from your home. It is stored in a encrypted banking system and identified by unique codes. Sure, so it can be used from your home. Somebody said that. That was a great piece of advice. It is stored in an encrypted banking system, and it can be identified by unique codes. Sure. So here, the reason I chose this question today, and again, if you don't know today's Task 2 question, then you can see it in the stream description. It is coming from ahelp.com, and guys, definitely do go there and sign up at least for the demo course. The demo course is free, but if you want to sign up for the full course, remember you can use LIVE20, that's a coupon code, for a 20% discount. And that helps support these lessons and supports the growth of the company and so forth. So there is a special reason I chose this question for today, and it's because I want to show you that it's really, really important what you decide to write. That can greatly affect your score in Task 2. And Task 2 for IELTS is worth 65% of your total writing score. So it's very important that you make good decisions when you're deciding what your answer will be. Even with medium-level English, if you make the right decisions, the right choices, what to write, you can get a very good score. Even with high level of English, if you make bad decisions and difficult decisions, then you can get a very low score. Okay? So here's my question to you. Which is easier to write about? Digital money or paper money? So this is the big question. This is what you really have to be clever about when you're deciding to write about this. Which is the easier choice, digital money or paper money? Who thinks digital, who thinks paper? The easier choice, guys, the easier choice. And of course, this is a bit subjective, so I don't think that I have the right answer for all these questions. So you can disagree with me. And I can see that a lot of you are saying digital money. Okay, Anu Jacob is kind of discussing an interesting point here, that digital money can't completely replace physical money, and that should give kind of some of you an idea. Make Donka Vukovic, don't write about both. The question is asking you about which do you believe and why. If you sit on the fence and write about both, it can get very confusing. That's probably the worst choice. Okay, everyone? So again, the worst choice is to write about both sides. You don't want to write about both sides. You want to write about only one side and support it with 2 points. Thanks for your question, Nitu. My leg is about 85%. You're welcome, Vukovic. You're very welcome. Yeah, you don't want to sit on the fence for questions that ask you to support one side or have one side as your main purpose. Okay, let me give you a little bit of help here. What are the advantages of paper money? This is why you don't want to forget about thinking critically for both sides. So why paper money? Why do we still carry around paper money? And this is, by the way, what our course at ahelp.com also focuses on, is not just to improve your English, but to help with your critical thinking, to help you think quickly and logically when you communicate, so you can communicate effectively. So why paper money? Why is paper money better? Yeah, Raya says not all places accept digital money, right? Paper money is accepted everywhere. Of course, you can't do online shopping. In some cases you can with paper money, but definitely when you're out and about in the world, then paper money still has more buying power than digital money. So why paper money? Because it is accepted everywhere. Now, I know that there are some exceptions in the world today. There are actually places that only accept digital money, but still we can argue that paper money is accepted more widely than digital money. What's another reason? What do people really like to do with paper money that's very difficult to do with digital money? And this will be interesting for all of you, not just for IELTS, but as a good piece of knowledge for the world. What can we do with paper money that's very difficult to do with digital money, if not impossible in many cases? And some of you said we can avoid taxes, which is not always legal, but often people do it. What else can we do with paper money? I don't see any of you saying what I'm thinking yet. And I know that most places in the world, we still do this. Think about if you go to the market and you're buying tomatoes, or you're buying some meat, or say you're buying a used computer from a friend. What can you do? Or a car, for example. I think in many places in the world, buying cars, we do this, especially if we have cash. What can people do? And digital money is kind of killing this culture in the world that paper money has had for centuries. Giving tips. I think a lot of places now have digital tipping as well. So it's not just tips. The word I'm thinking of starts with a B. And there's even two ways to say it. There's synonyms for it. Not beggar, not begging. It's a B-A-R start to the word. B-A-R, B-A-R, guys, starting with a B-A-R. Yeah, barter system. Thank you, Anu Jacob. Finally, somebody throws it up there. The barter system, or bargaining. Yeah, bartering, bargaining. Exactly. I guess that most of you will agree with me that we use paper money in most bargaining, haggling, bartering situations. So we can bargain more with paper money. Okay, so now that we looked at some of the advantages of digital money and we looked at some of the advantages of paper money, I want to go back to my previous question. Which is the easier choice, to write about digital money or to write about paper money? So if you still think it's digital money, that's fine. If you've changed your thoughts and think that paper money might be easier, that's okay too. It's not bad to change your ideas sometime. So what do you think is the easier choice, digital money or paper money? Okay, Janet's sticking to her guns with digital. Prosafa is sticking to their gun with digital. Dinesh Raj says paper money is better to write about. It's interesting. A lot of you are going with digital money. I myself would probably choose paper money. There's a couple reasons why I think paper money is an easier choice to argue for. Digital money has a lot of advantages that are more tricky to explain clearly. Okay, so if you have strong English skills and you are confident in your vocabulary and in your grammar, then choosing digital money is a good idea. But if you feel that, okay, I'm an intermediate level of English, I want to get a 6.5 or a 7, I don't want to risk making a lot of mistakes, and I want to use vocabulary that I've learned over and over and I'm confident about, then most likely paper money will be the better choice, okay? So digital money, writing about digital money as your choice will require more grammar, vocabulary, and thinking. Okay? So I will definitely argue that writing about digital money as your choice will require more grammar, more vocabulary, more thinking. If you're confident, if you're practiced, if you've visited us at AE Help and learned all of our strategies, maybe that's the way you want to go. But if you want the sure score, if you want to get that 7, I would definitely go with paper money. So I know there are some sound problems today, guys. I know, Ildar, that the sound isn't the best today. I will work on that, but that's going to require a bit of troubleshooting, and I don't want to cut today's class just for that, so bear with me. Mostly it's writing, so you'll see most of the information go up on the board here anyway. So writing about paper money is easier because it uses more common vocabulary, and the reasons for it are clear and straightforward. Okay, so writing about paper money as your choice is a little bit easier because we have these two reasons that it's accepted everywhere. That's reason number one. And reason number two is that you can use it for bargaining. So if you can identify these two reasons quickly, it will make it easier to write about than digital cash. Okay. All right, guys. So now we're gonna just quickly review what we did here. Okay. So again, this is an IELTS Task 2. Materials are coming from our website, AE Help. You can use the coupon code LIVE20 for a 20% discount. You get 40 high-definition lesson videos with good sound, 6 full practice exams, all the audio, and an interactive course that you can use on your phone, tablet, and everything like that. This is the question that we're looking at today. Some people believe carrying cash should not be necessary at all. Payments ought to be digital. Others argue that having paper money still has benefits. Okay. Now, it's important to pay attention to this part here. What do you believe and why? Okay. So we all agreed that first step is to understand the question clearly. In order to do that, we want to paraphrase the question, which I've done here, and some of you did a good job paraphrasing it also in different ways. And then we identify the topic. It's extremely important that you identify the topic, the controlling idea, and then you ask the questions of what, why, how about paper money and about electronic payments. And then we have all those answers and questions there. Okay, so now you decide which side you want to choose. Many of you said you want to focus on digital currency. So digital currency, let's talk about that. We want to write the introduction, of course, so 4 paragraphs. And the first paragraph is the introduction. Okay, you definitely don't need to write introduction during task 2. You just start writing the introduction. And it's a good idea to indent the introduction. Even though it's a little bit old school, it does make the writing more clear. Okay, let me just check the sound here. Just give me a moment. I will try to figure something out for you here for the sound. Okay, guys, give me a moment, and let me see if I can do something else for the sound. Okay. Let me just check if I can. Okay, just a moment, guys. I'll try to fix the sound up for you. Okay. All right. So, how is the sound now, guys? Can you hear the sound better? Is the sound a little bit better now? I'm trying a different port on the computer. It's the same, okay? So if it says it's better. I have opened the window, Gagan, so it can't be that. Some of you are saying it's better. Some of you are saying there's still an echo. Again, I'm going to have to try to troubleshoot it because I've tried a couple different things for you. But it just doesn't seem to want to improve. So I'm probably going to have to run some filters, guys. And running filters is not the easiest thing to do, especially in a live class. So bear with me, okay? Okay, guys. So let's start with the introduction here. Yeah, we don't want to take too long of a break here. So the introduction begins with, it has 4 parts.
What's the first part of the introduction? For those of you who have done classes with me, you will know the answer to this. It is the hook. That's right. So, and the hook is an interesting statement that captures your audience, and it allows you to focus in on what you are. Turn up the volume. Okay. All right, guys. Let's see here. All right, that's max volume right there. Is the volume better now? How's the volume now? Is it better now? Okay. All right. Okay, guys, I'm doing everything I can, and if you would see how complex the setup is in this room, you'd be amazed that we have the ability to do this as we can. There's a lot of different types of connections and electronics. All right. So, okay. So, yeah, a lot of teachers say don't write a hook. That's not good. You should write a hook. It makes your essay better, and it also clears your mind. Yeah, I think this is better because I think you guys are hearing the mic through maybe the. I think you guys are hearing the mic maybe through the laptop, but again, there's so many connections here that I'm going to have to work on that later. So for now, just bear with me. I'm doing the best, and I promise that the audio will improve for the next class. I'll figure out how to do the audio so that it works for you.
Okay? Yeah, it's great now because I've moved close to the laptop, so that's probably why you can hear it better. All right, guys, so what kind of a hook can we write here? What kind of a hook can we write? Remember, the hook should be something super simple. It should only be about one sentence, maybe 15 words maximum. And it should be about the topic. Yeah. Think about the way that we make payments today. It should give you a very simple idea about the hook. Why has humanity created currency? Why do people have money? Why do we have currency, whether it's digital or paper? A hook is a simple, global, and interesting statement, Saba. A simple, global, interesting statement. No money, no honey. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but I don't think it's going to work. Why do we have money? Why don't we just trade chickens for cows anymore? To exchange it for goods and services, sure. And to set standards of value, right? So that's what we can use for the hook. Okay, how about that? Currency has existed for centuries as a standard for the value of goods and services. So basically, all I'm doing here, notice, is something very simple, is I'm just defining the concept of currency. Right? So all I've done is I've identified the definition of what currency is. It's existed for centuries as a standard for the value of goods and services. In fact, it's existed for thousands of years. By the way, what's the vocabulary for thousands of years? How do you say thousands of years? It's not eons. Eons is a good way to say a lot of years. Yeah, millennium, or millennium is 1,000 years. What's the plural for millennium? Nguyen. What's the plural for millennium? Millennium is 1,000 years, and thousands of years is, it's almost the same word, a little bit different. Millennia. Okay, so currency has existed for millennia as a standard for the value of goods and services. Okay, what do we write next? What comes after the hook? What comes after the hook, guys and girls? It's important. Don't rewrite the question. It's kind of a rewrite of the question, Mohammed. You're right, it's kind of a paraphrase, but it's better to think about it as the background. Background and importance. So this is where we explain the background to the idea and the importance. The word is millennia, Sharif. Millennia, it means thousands of years. Okay, so the background here, we're borrowing from the question. So these days, currency exists both physically as paper money and digitally as zeros and ones. Okay. So here, the background is these days currency exists both physically as paper money and digitally as zeros and ones. I'm using a type of conjunction in this second sentence. What type of conjunction am I using in the second sentence? What type of a conjunction am I using in the second sentence? As is not really a conjunction here, kind of is, but that's not what I'm thinking of. Hike, you're right, I'm using a correlative. Nisha is noticing it as well. What's the correlative conjunction here? It's both and. The correlative conjunction is both and. For those of you who haven't seen many of these classes, just a reminder for those of you that have, you must use coordinating, correlative, and subordinating conjunctions in your writing and your speaking to get high IELTS scores. If you don't have that, your scores will not exceed 6.5, okay? So correlative, coordinating, subordinating. I will always remind you of that because that is one of the big keys to getting a high score in IELTS, okay? Here, both and together make one correlative conjunction. All right, so These days, currency exists both physically and as paper money and digitally as zeros and ones. Why? Why does it exist in these ways? So what is the reason for existing as both paper and as digital? Okay, it's a little bit of importance. You can say this in different ways. So this allows payees to make purchases in a variety of formats at physical shops or through the internet, right? So it gives us more ability to have a variety of currencies in the modern world. And then, before I state this, what comes next? What comes after the background? So hook, then background, importance. What comes after the background and importance? Thesis statement. Thank you. You saw that I started there. Okay, and what's a good thesis statement here? If I want to write about paper money, let's keep it simple for today. So if I want to write about paper money, what is a good thesis for paper money? So what's a good thesis statement for paper money? I'm looking for a full thesis statement here, guys and girls. So let's start with although, and it's paper money. Although some believe, let's put people in there, some people believe that paper money is obsolete, I think it is still the... Okay, can someone finish my sentence? So, although some people believe that paper money is obsolete, I think it is still the what? Better mode of payment, and you can say this in different ways. Since it can be used more widely and for bargaining. Okay? So I think it is still the better mode of payment since it can be used more widely and for bargaining. So that is my thesis statement. So again, here you can see the full thesis statement. I'll release the thesis to the next line so you can see it more clearly. So although some people believe that paper money is obsolete, I think it is still the better mode of payment since it can be used more widely and for bargaining. What type of grammar am I using in my thesis statement? You have to be careful with the word efficiency or efficient, Yasmin, because that's going to be a little bit tricky to separate from digital money. Digital money is quite efficient as well, but we can use it in more places where electronic money is not accepted. What type of grammar am I using in my thesis? It is present tense because I'm making a general statement, so that's a good observation. And what conjunction am I using here? Let me give you a little bit more info. So what kind of a conjunction am I using here? Yep, I'm definitely including a contrast. I'm starting it with although, and what type of a conjunction is this? So in the previous sentence, I showed you that I used a correlative conjunction. Here I'm using a subordinating conjunction. That's right. Why do I have a comma here after obsolete? So this is an important comma. Why do I have that comma? So here, why do I have a comma? Pardeep, I'm going to fix the audio for tomorrow. Just hang tight, okay? Because the independent clause is second in the sentence. So the dependent clause is first, or the subordinating clause is first. Although some people believe is first, that's the subordinating or the dependent clause, and that's why I need a comma before the independent clause, or the main clause, as some teachers call it, okay? That's right. Okay, guys, so because I know that the sound is a bit annoying for you this way, that there's a lot of echo, and we've spent an hour on the lesson, I'm going to take a 10-minute break here, okay? So let's take a 10-minute break before we continue with the lesson. And I'm going to try to fix the sound. So I'm gonna take 10 minutes here to see if I can fix the sound. While I do that, just take a break, go to the washroom, have a drink of water, eat a snack, and then we'll continue with body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. And during that 10-minute break, I'll try to fix the sound, okay? So 10-minute break. And then after, we'll continue, with body 1, 2, and the conclusion, okay? So, and I'll try to fix that sound. Again, guys, remember, visit aehelp.com. Lots of goodies there for IELTS for you. Use the coupon code LIVE20 for a 20% discount. You get 6 full practice exams. You get lots of videos, 40 full lesson videos in HD, and a fully interactive course that you can use on your computer tablet. You can also contact us. You'll be able to book Skype interview lessons with me, and you can also practice peer-to-peer live speaking. So we're going to continue with this topic, and then after the 10-minute break, I'll be back, and we'll continue with body 1, body 2, okay? So just give me a moment, and I'll try to fix the sound as well, okay? So 10 minutes. I'm going to try to fix the sound. If some of you guys are staying, you'll probably see me do some work here to fix up the sound and see what I can do with that. Okay.
Sound check 1, 2. Sound
Check 1, 2. If some of you are watching right now, can you tell me if the sound is better? We were watching before. For those of you that did not go on a break, is the sound pretty good right now? I just switched around some of the connections, so hopefully this is going to fix the sound. Gilly says it's not too good. Sound check 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of you are saying sound is better than earlier. Some of you are saying it's still not good. I'm using a more direct connection right now. Okay, let me see. Still not clear. Okay, let me see if I can do a little bit more adjusting here. Sound check 1, 2. Sound check 1, 2. Sound check 1, 2. Sound check 1, 2. Sound check 1, 2.
Sound check 1, 2. How about now, guys? Is the sound better right now? I'm using a wireless system for the sound, and it is a high quality Samsung wireless, just like what you would see. It's still echoing a little bit. Okay. Let me keep going here, talking to, maybe read a little bit. I'll come back after a 10-minute break, make sure that you have some tea or coffee. So you're still getting an echo right now? Is there still an echo for you? That could be to do with the room. How is it compared to before, for those of you who are watching? Can you hear my words clearly? So when I explain an idea to you, can you make out the sentence clearly? You can understand it, but it's not clear. All right. I'm wondering, since I'm getting different feedback from you, from different people, I'm wondering if it's actually to do with the internet system itself. So I'm trying everything I can on my end, but if there is a problem with the YouTube server or the way that the information is being streamed, then that can affect it also. Again, this is a completely new setup that we've just put together in Central Europe, so bear with us. Are you guys still getting a strong echo? Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can put a filter on it for you. Hello, sound check, 1, 2, sound check, 1, 2. Okay, just a second. How about now, guys? How about now? Okay, I think I just might have solved the problem. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit and then tell me if it's better right now. I think what was the problem is that there were two microphones picking up the sound. Is it good now? Okay, some of you are saying perfect, some of you are saying better. All right. Now good, it's actually clear now. Okay, great. So I believe what was happening is there were actually two microphones that were picking up simultaneously the sound, and that was creating the echo. Okay. All right, guys, there we go. Yeah, of course, Rakad. Had I known, I would have done it earlier for sure. But it's a matter of persistence. It's exactly what you need to do in IELTS, is you need to persevere. You need to keep pushing and pushing, just like I did with the sound. So that's my style of teaching, and that's what I want to give to you as well, is to believe in yourself and believe that you can succeed. Never give up. Always find the solutions. All right, so is the sound good and clear now for everyone? And of course, an important question here for you guys is try until you succeed. That's right. That's human. That's good human nature. Another quick question. Can you guys and girls hear me in both ears? So can you hear me in the left and the right speaker? Should be stereo. Are you hearing me stereo? Especially if you're using headphones, you should be able to tell me this. Awesome. Fantastic. Great. Love it. Okay. Then I'll wait a couple minutes because I did tell everybody that we're going to take a 10-minute break, so I don't want to start up right away. I'm going to have a drink of water myself, and then in about a minute or two, we'll continue on with the writing task 2. Okay. Very good, Ankit. Is that score enough for you to get into the school, or to, well, for immigration, that's going to be enough, because I think every country will accept a score of 6.5. For general IELTS, and most universities accept 6.5 if you did the academic. But I'm happy that you got that score, Ankit. That's great. Did you use the strategies that you learned in the lessons? And I'm amazed that you're coming back and continuing to watch the lessons even after you've succeeded in IELTS. That's great. I'm happy to have you join anytime, absolutely. And a lot of the things that I teach, of course, you can use in your university studies as well. Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. Those are the keys. That's awesome. Okay, guys, girls, that's great. So it seems like we have the audio fixed now. So you have good audio, you have good visual. So we should be trouble-free for the rest of this lesson. Again, remember that these materials are coming from Live 20. What I'm going to do is I'm going to restart this stream so that it allows people to listen to the clear audio separately. So I'm going to stop this stream for about 30 seconds, and then I'll start it up again. Okay, so just give me a second. I'm going to do a 30 second stop on the stream, and that separates it into 2 videos. So the second video will be all clear sound. Okay, so everybody just bear with me while I do that. I'm just going to take 30 seconds here to do that. So just a moment. All right, guys and girls, unfortunately that did not stop it for long enough, I don't think, because it's still counting down. So I'm going to stop it for a minute. I'm trying to break the stream, guys, is what I'm doing right now. So I'm trying to start a new stream so that when people come back and watch these lessons later, which of course you can do, then you're going to have clear sound for the second video. So I don't want people watching 2 hours thinking in the first hour that the sound is terrible. The first video will have bad sound, the second video will have good sound, but in order to do that, I have to do a 2-minute stop on the video so that YouTube breaks the stream into 2 videos. So just give me 2 minutes, okay, guys, and then I'll come back. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay. YouTube does not want to create the break, so that's fine. All right, guys. So hopefully the sound is good, the video is good, and let's continue on with the lesson. Anyway, this video sound will be bad for the first hour. It'll be great for the last hour. But tomorrow, when we do the next class, I will do a reading for tomorrow. Then you will have good audio. We figured out the difficulty on our end, so you should experience first class lesson tomorrow with good sound, good picture. All right. If somebody's still having trouble hearing or seeing me, please let me know. But everything should be okay now. So again. We're answering the task 2 question. The question is, some people believe that carrying cash should not be necessary and all payments ought to be digital. Others argue that having paper money still has benefits. Okay, we've written the introductory paragraph before the break. Of course, we did all of our planning and understanding. So this is the introductory paragraph. It has a hook. It says, currency has existed for millennia as a standard for the value of goods and services. And then we wrote the background. These days, currency exists both physically as paper money and digitally as zeros and ones. This allows payees to make purchases in a variety of formats at physical shops or through the internet. Okay, and then we wrote the thesis. This is still, of course, the last sentence of the introduction. As I've said to many of you before, the thesis will make or break your essay. Okay, so the thesis here is, although some people believe that paper money is obsolete, I think it is still the better mode of payment since it can be used more widely and for bargaining. So here I have 2 points, obviously, that I need to discuss in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. So used more widely is my point number 1. And for bargaining is my point number 2. And used more for bargaining, of course, is the full second. So used more widely and used more for bargaining, those are the 2 key points. Okay, so let's write the body paragraph 1. What is the first part of body paragraph 1? Can anybody tell me what the first part of body paragraph 1 should be? I don't see you guys chatting, so I'm wondering if that stopped for me. Okay. What is the first part of body paragraph 1? It's called a topic sentence. Yvonne's got it. Yeah, it's a topic sentence, guys. That's the correct way to call it. That's how your teachers will call it in university as well. So topic sentence. What is the topic sentence? Anybody? What should be the topic sentence? Yeah, it's kind of a definition or a detailed expression of the first point of your thesis statement. So the first point of the thesis statement is paper money can be used more widely. So let's use that in our topic sentence. Can somebody give me a topic sentence? Yeah. Yeah, paper money is accepted all over the world by people. Good. Great. And that's simple enough. What comes after the topic sentence? What's the next sentence after the topic sentence? Explanation, that's right, Yvonne. So it's not the importance, Prosalpha. This is not the introduction. This is the body paragraph. So explanation. So can somebody give me the explanation for this? Hike, money makes the world go round would have been a good hook. That would have been a good expression for the hook in the introduction. This is body paragraph 1, so now we're into the topic sentence, and now we're looking for the explanation. So can somebody give me an explanation for what we mean by money is accepted all over the world by people? And think about quantitative and qualitative language as well. Everybody's telling me that the sound is quite good now, so hopefully that's the case. If somebody else can't hear me loud enough, then let me know, but I think the sound is good for everyone, so turn up your speaker. Keep it more simple. It's too complicated, Matador, and it's kind of awkward. So keep your explanation simple. Credit cards are easier to carry, so that doesn't make sense. So what do we mean that paper money is accepted everywhere? And here, don't be shy, compare it to digital money. Don't mix in bargaining with this one, Prosalpha. That's going to be our body paragraph 2. So every shop and person will or can exchange their goods in and services in lieu for hard cash. Even those, or especially those, which do not have electronic terminals. Okay? So every shop and person can exchange their goods and services for hard cash, especially those which do not have electronic terminals. Now, what should come after that? Further explanation. Yeah, so Ankit says not all sellers accept credit cards. For instance, not all retailers can or want to accept digital money such as debit or such as Visa or MasterCard. Often these sellers include markets and small corner stores. Okay, so here I've written a bit more. So I said, for instance, not all retailers can or want to accept digital money such as Visa or MasterCard. Often these sellers include markets and small corner stores. Very important question for everyone. Is this an example? Is this an example? So when I'm writing this body paragraph, is it an example? Barbara says yes. Ustav is giving more explanation. He's saying also not everybody is good with using technology. Perhaps, but really, really important. Is this an example? So when I say, for instance, not all retailers can or want to accept digital money such as Visa or MasterCard. Often these sellers include markets and small corner stores. Is it an example? El Matador says no. ProSalfa says yes. Ustav says yes, it is. I agree with El Matador. I would say that this is not an example. Why is it not an example? In my opinion, this is still an explanation. Okay, so all I've done here is given the topic sentence and given the explanation. And even though I say for instance or for example, it's still not an example. Why is it not an example? And this is very important. This is where many students make mistakes. They think that they're giving an example when they're still just giving an explanation. And here, I'm still just giving an explanation. I'm not actually giving a true example. Why is that? The example will come after this. Yeah, AJ Kumar says it's still very generic. It's not a specific instance. And you're absolutely right, AJ Kumar. The IELTS in the question says use specific examples to support your explanations, okay? From your own experience and knowledge. This means that you need to use visible, measurable examples from your own experience and your own knowledge, something that happened to you. It has to be real world, okay? We're not talking about a specific person. That's right, Ankit. We're not talking about a specific day. We're not talking about a specific event. So we need to do that, okay? And that's the example. So can somebody give me an example for this? Can somebody give me an actual example? Never use you, Ustav. Never use you, okay? That second person voice, you do not want to switch to second person voice in your essay. That's bad writing, so avoid you. Do not switch to you. So you should use I, me, my, because IELTS task 2 is first person. So you can use I, me, my. So give me a real world example that I can see where you're saying I, me, my. Okay, or you're writing I, me, my. Yep, I am following what, why, how here. My name is Adrian, AJ. It's not Andrew. It's Adrian. Yeah, okay, Ankit. So that's getting better. So your example there, Ankit, is getting better. No worries, just a quick correction on my name. But your example is getting better. You want to be even more specific. Mohammed, nice. Now you're getting there. More recently, I visited a supermarket for purchasing chocolates and I used paper bills to settle the transaction because they didn't have an electronic terminal. Sure, that would be a great example. So Mohammed has the right idea. Yesterday, I visited the local market and bought cheese from a farmer with cash because they did not have a digital terminal. Okay, so yesterday I visited the local market and bought cheese from a farmer with cash because they did not have a digital terminal. So, and you can keep going with your example. You could say, this morning I could not have cheese with breakfast if I would have only had digital money available. Okay, so we can go even further with our example and we can make that comparison to the digital money. Okay. Janet says, for example, I myself have experienced in many shops in India where I cannot do a digital transaction. Be specific, Janet. Instead of saying many shops, actually say one shop. So the more visible, the more measurable you can make your example, the better. Okay. Utsav, that's a great example. This morning when I used the metro, I needed to use cash because the ticket machine does not accept debit or credit cards to get to work. Sure, that's a great example. So now you're on the right track. All right, guys, that's what you want to do. You want to give very visible, real-world examples. That's what gets you the high marks in IELTS Task 2. Okay. Again, for everyone who's joining, these materials come from aehelp.com. Make sure to check us out there. Make sure to go to our website, and you can see the question for this in the stream description. Okay, so now we can write, this is one of 2 reasons I prefer physical currency over electronic money. Okay, so this is our concluding connecting sentence. It's a very standard sentence that you can use in a lot of different kinds of essays. So this is one of 2 reasons I prefer physical currency over electronic currency. So again, body paragraph 1, paper money is accepted all over the world by people. Every shop and person can exchange their goods and services for hard cash, especially those which do not have electronic terminals. For instance, not all retailers can or want to accept digital money, such as Visa or MasterCard. Often, these sellers include markets and small corner stores. Yesterday, I visited the local market and bought cheese from a farmer with cash because they did not have a digital terminal. This morning, I could not have had cheese with my breakfast if I would have only had digital money available. This is one of 2 reasons I prefer physical currency over electronic money. I love cheese, and I love to have cheese with my breakfast. And the cheese that the local farmers sell, especially here in Europe, is always the best, so it's true. So that's what a body paragraph should look like, okay? And I can see that some of you now have the right idea, and you are giving me some good examples for that. Again, the more visible, the more measurable, the better. Cool, awesome, guys and girls. So let's go on to point number 2. Point number 2 is coming from our thesis statement. It is, not all that. It is this one here. So it is, paper money is used more for bargaining. Okay. So now we write body paragraph 2 about using it for bargaining. So here we go. Can someone give me a topic sentence for using paper money for bargaining? Keep it simple. Again, don't make mistakes in your topic sentence for your body paragraph. It looks really, really bad if you make a mistake in the topic sentence, so don't make any mistakes there. Topic sentence for bargaining with paper money. Keep it simple. Yeah, that's a great. Great sentence there, Utsav. Most people love to haggle for prices. Keep it more simple, okay? Most people love to haggle for prices, and that is where paper money comes in handy, okay? The more complex you make it, Utsav, the more chances for a mistake. So keep it simple. So most people love to haggle for the best prices, and that is, don't use contractions in task 2 writing, where paper money comes in handy. Very nice. It's a nice topic sentence, Utsav. If you can't create a topic sentence like this, something more simple is okay as well. Utsav has been in several classes with us, and he's had a bit of practice and obviously has some good English skills as well. Using expressions like comes in handy does increase your score. So if you know these types of expressions in English, use them. But please do not translate expressions or idioms from your own language. That will get you into trouble. Okay? Can somebody give me the explanation? So can someone explain to me how people love to haggle and why paper money is good? So this is the what, as I can't remember who asked me about the what, why, how, but somebody was asking me about the what, why, how. This is the what. The explanation is the why. And now we want to explain why paper money comes in handy, why people love to bargain and haggle for good prices. So can someone give me a sentence for that? Give you a couple seconds to think here. And it's good to think before each of these sentences. So do take a few seconds, even on the IELTS, to think before you write, because you will write much better sentences. So give me an explanation. Why do people love to haggle? And why do people like to use cash for haggling? Yeah, Utsav, sure. So write it a little bit more clearly. Bargaining can be thought of as a kind of human nature, and everyone loves to bargain. It's a bit redundant, so you want to word that differently. Pardeep says people love paper money because it is real exchange of cash from one person to another. What we used to pay for the things is called money. Yeah, people believe more in paper money than digital money, for sure. Because they actually hold it in their hand as opposed to from one bank account to the other. So this is where visualization is very, very powerful, right? People work very hard for their money, so they want to pay the best price possible, and this often requires bargaining, right? So we all work hard for our money, and because we work hard for our money, we want to get the best price that we can, so we make our money stretch. We want our money to stretch as far as possible. Since paper money is seen as having more value than digital funds, it is preferred in bartering situations. Also, paper money often allows retailers to avoid paying taxes, which gives more flexibility variability in prices. So here I'm giving some more explanation. So since paper money is seen as having more value than digital funds, it is preferred in bartering situations. Also, paper money allows retailers to avoid paying taxes, which gives more flexibility in prices. Is it legal to avoid taxes through paper money? Not always, but we know that many people do it. IELTS doesn't care about real or not real, legal or not legal in such a situation. What's important here is that you have a clear explanation, okay? So these are some good points to explain how people use paper money in bargaining situations. Now, I know it's kind of funny, guys. I know, Ramesh, that it's funny, but I do know that people all over the world avoid the taxes and so on by using paper money. IELTS is not going to judge you for writing down the truth. What comes next? What's the next sentence? The example, that's right. Can somebody give me an example for using paper money in a bargaining situation? Somebody give me an example. While you guys are thinking of an example, I'm going to continue pitching the website, ahelp.com. That's where you should go to join us for lots of great IELTS materials and strategies. And if you join today, use Live20 for a 20% discount. That's my quick plug while you think about an example for bargaining. Visible, measurable. Visible, measurable. I want to be able to see it and quantify it. Somebody give me a real-world example from their own experience. For bargaining. Okay. Last Thursday, I bought a... Okay, Utsav says, the other day I wanted to buy some groceries from my home and I went to the local market, and although my bargaining skills are not that great, I was still able to get at least 10% off the price. Yes, and Utsav, you actually just reminded me of a good strategy to follow, which I've told you all in the past, that if you can link your first and second example, then that makes your essay even more powerful. So remember, my first example was yesterday I visited the local market. Here we go, where is it? Yesterday, I visited the local market and bought cheese from a farmer with cash because they did not have a digital terminal. This morning, I could not have had cheese with breakfast. So I can actually continue with that example. So when I bought the cheese from the farmer yesterday, I haggled with him for a minute and saved a whole $3, which I then used to ride the bus back home. There we go. So I even used, I believe it was Utsav's suggestion about using public transit with cash. So I even combined that in there. So here When I bought the cheese from the farmer yesterday, I haggled with him for a minute and saved a whole $3, which I then used to ride the bus back home. That is my example for bargaining, and I'm linking my first and second example, which makes my essay even more powerful. So that's good to do when you can. If you can't do it, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Write a different example. But if you can continue with your example and link them together, that definitely does improve your essay. And of course, your IELTS score goes up. Now, I do realize that this is quite a complex sentence. I'm using subordinating conjunction here with time, when. Again, you need to use those for the high IELTS essay scores, okay? Let's read a couple more here. Last year, my uncle bought a car from his friend with cash because it allowed him to avoid taxes and save $1,000. Very good, Yvonne. That's great. Excellent. And don't worry, IELTS is not going to report your uncle for tax evasion. They will not do that, so it's good. Mohammed Wahab says, recently my daughter, at my daughter's school, or in my daughter's school, show belonging there, Mohammed. So recently in my daughter's school, there was a fun fair and we had the option of bargaining exciting goods. For instance, I bought some cups, which the children made for $2 when the original price was $4. Finish that idea. Okay, so well done. That's how you do it. That is the last sentence of body paragraph 2. Now, we go to our conclusion. And the concluding paragraph also has 3 parts. Start with in conclusion. And then write what? What is the first sentence in the conclusion? So what do you need to write first in the conclusion? What should be the first sentence of the conclusion? Remember, the conclusion is not just paraphrasing the introduction. It's more than that. What kind of a general statement am I writing? Yeah, you restate the topic and the points. So, in conclusion, there are both digital and physical currencies in use today. Okay, sure. And then what comes after restating the topic? Ashwani, that's good too. I like that. That's going back to the body paragraph example, but that's good too. Okay. What comes after restating the topic for the conclusion? So, in conclusion, there are both digital and physical currencies in use today. A strong opinion, that's right. Yeah, so it's your opinion restated strongly. Okay, can somebody restate our opinion strongly here? Not the advice yet. Okay, not advice yet. That's going to be the last sentence. So restate the opinion strongly. Can someone restate our opinion strongly here? I don't want to give you all the sentences. I want you to think, think, think. My goal is not just to give you fish, but to teach you how to fish. So Utsav says, I think paper money is much more, or is much easier, relatable and convenient way of doing transactions in our daily life. Okay, careful not to change your points. So our points here are bargaining and usability. So reliable, yeah, That's a good way to say it, Utsav. Reliable is a better word. So I think paper money is much more reliable is a much more reliable method of payment than electronic money, and it is far better for bargaining or bartering, Okay, so I think paper money is much more reliable, is a much more reliable method of payment than electronic money, and it is far better for bartering. Okay, good. So now that we have that, we want to, one of you said this before, we want to give a take-home message. What is a good take-home message for our essay? So what is a good take-home message? Mohammed says, in my opinion, I strongly believe. Never double those, Mohammed, one or the other, okay? In my opinion, using physical currency, or I strongly believe using physical currency. Don't say, in my opinion, I strongly believe. So in my strong opinion, or I strongly believe. Currency is safer and it gives choice to bargain and is far better than digital payment. Sure, okay, it's not bad. Lytton, that's fine, but that's if that's the choice we make at the beginning for task 2. So I guess that you join the lesson a little bit later. Just go back and check out the question. We chose paper money in this case, but yeah, that would be okay if we went the other direction or the other side. What's a good take-home message, guys? What's a message we can give to people? Think simple here. There's a very elegant, beautiful, simple take-home message that you can write. Anyone? What's a good take-home message? Although the world is becoming more and more digital, paper money is still going to be the way to go around. Yes, Utsav, but it's a little bit off topic. Yeah, it's like a final advice, Raghad, absolutely. Utsav, careful not to be too general. You don't want to give a take-home message that is similar to a hook, okay? Your take-home message should be something specific. Keep it simple. And visualize, guys. Visualize, guys and girls. So use that beautiful brain of yours. Use those beautiful eyes of the inner mind to see information. Yeah, there you go, AJ. That's kind of what I was thinking. Therefore, a person should always carry a small amount of cash in their pocket. Absolutely. I bet that most of you, not all the time probably, but most of the time have a bit of cash in your pocket. Therefore, it is a wise idea to always carry a bit of cash in your, we never want to switch to second person, not even in the take-home message, cash in just that. Keep it that simple. So therefore, it is a wise idea to always carry a bit of cash. And that's enough. You don't need more there. That's a great take-home message. Remember, simple is beautiful, okay? Therefore, it is a wise idea to always carry a bit of cash for that next great deal if you really want to get tricky. Okay, So that is the take-home message. Keep it simple, keep it beautiful, okay? And make sure it's relevant to the essay. So that's our essay. This is our introduction. This is our body paragraph 1, 2, and concluding paragraph. Let's quickly read it, make sure it makes sense and it's clear. Currency has existed for millennia as a standard for the value of goods and services. These days, currency exists both physically as paper money and digitally as zeros and ones. This allows payees to make purchases in a variety of formats at physical shops or through the internet. Although some people believe that paper money is obsolete, I think it is still the better mode of payment since it can be used more widely and for bargaining. Paper money is accepted all over the world by people. Every shop and person can exchange their goods and services for hard cash, especially those which do not have electronic terminals. For instance, not all retailers can or want to accept digital money such as Visa or MasterCard. Often, the sellers include markets and small corner stores. Yesterday, I visited the local market and bought cheese from a farmer with cash because they did not have a digital terminal. This morning, I could not have cheese with breakfast if I would have only had digital money available. This is one of 2 reasons I prefer physical currency over electronic money. Most people love to haggle for the best prices, and that is where paper money comes in handy. People work very hard for their money, so they want to pay the best price possible, and this often requires bargaining. Since paper money is seen as having more value than digital funds, it is preferred in bartering situations. Also, paper money often allows retailers to avoid paying taxes, which gives more flexibility in prices. When I bought the cheese from the farmer yesterday, I haggled with him for a minute and saved a whole $3, which I then used to ride the bus back home. In conclusion, there are both digital and physical currencies in use today. I think paper money is a much more reliable method of payment than electronic money, and it is far better for bartering. Therefore, it is a wise idea to always carry a bit of cash for that next great deal. Okay? So that's what the answer is for this task 2 question. If you write like this, I promise that you will get at least 7.5, probably an 8, maybe even more, especially if you don't have mistakes. Utsav, on this essay, you would probably get an 8, 8.5, maybe even a 9 with a little bit more paraphrasing. There's a couple of words that are repetitive, but you would be getting some very, very high scores with this essay, okay? So this is what you want to practice at home. This is what you want to do. Make sure that you do practice at home. Don't go walking into the IELTS blind. Let us help you with it. We can check your writing. We can check your work, identify your weaknesses. You can write essays and submit them to us at aehelp.com. We have editing services there. We can give you a free score estimate when you send us your work. Again, the coupon code for today for our products is live20, 20% discount. Ironically, we only accept digital money. You can pay with any major credit card or through PayPal on our websites, and you get 6 full practice exams, 40 lesson videos in high definition, and we will be live streaming tomorrow, same time. Of course, the microphone is now fixed. Everything is great. Ankit, awesome. You're great. You've just used your super chat. Fantastic. I appreciate it. Yes, it is ironic, Utsav. And we just accepted some digital currency from Ankit. Thank you for appreciating us, Ankit. That's fantastic. We will be doing regular live streaming again. up to 5 times a week, and we will probably be doing more than one class so that different students around the world at different time zones can watch these lessons. So stay tuned tomorrow, subscribe to our channel so you can see when the classes are going on. And then we will follow tomorrow, I believe, with reading classes. My leg is doing much better, Hike. Thank you for asking. The bone has fused. Still some sore muscles. I'm doing some exercises. So, Utsav, if you're trying to click the $sign, it's not functioning. It could be that Super Chat is not available in your country. Unfortunately, it's not available everywhere. I'm not sure where you're at. Tomorrow, it will be probably a little bit earlier time. We'll start classes at noon Central Europe. And in India, I'm not sure what time it is. In our time right now, in my time, it is 5 o'clock. But we will start streaming at noon tomorrow, my time. No, I am in Central Europe right now. I'm actually in Hungary, in Budapest. So yes, we're broadcasting to you live from Budapest, which is Hungary. Tomorrow we'll start one lesson at noon, and then we'll take a 1 hour break, and then we'll do another lesson from 3 o'clock. So that means that there will be, in India's time, there will be a lesson starting at 5 o'clock and another one starting at 8 o'clock. Tarshpreet, tomorrow we will do reading, so make sure you tune in tomorrow for the reading lesson, okay? Thank you everyone for watching. For those of you who watched the first hour with the bad audio, I apologize for that. I'm super happy that you hung around. You waited for the audio to get fixed. You can send paper money by post, Utsav, but I don't suggest it. Another way you can support us, Utsav, is by signing up to our website. Guys, this is our website here. It looks like this. When you log in, you have a lot of materials. So when you go to aehelp.com, I will show you that in a minute here, what our website looks like. So another way you can support us is just simply by signing up for our website, getting all of our materials. When you go to the website, you will see the login page, and you can purchase at the bottom here. You can purchase our full course, get all these materials. Much love to everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I hope you have a great day, great sleep, great night. It's great to be back teaching you. I look forward to other lessons, and goodbye for now. See you tomorrow.